with another Steph Infection. First time ever having two guests.
Yay!
Joss and Jacob Wolf. Thank you for coming on Steph Infection.
Thank you so much for having us.
Look at this. I'm from Vegas.
It's exciting. I mean, I think I dished out all my compliments to you pre-podcast.
Yeah, what the heck? Now no one knows what the hell's going on here. So I just fucking waited until he was saying how funny I was. And now it's over. It's too late now.
Well, it still hangs true. I think you're super funny.
Well, thank you.
And like I said, I don't know if I like the humor or the confidence more, but I think it's tied.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both.
I've never heard that before. I've never said someone they like my confidence before.
Your confidence is...
Men don't like it.
Yeah, but that's...
Boys don't like it. Men like it.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to...
Wait, who do you think I am, Crystalia? This is boys. Hey,
I know. I mean, you can still be a grown man, but be a boy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see.
How long... Because I'm trying to decide on the... we don't call that a onesie.
Jumper, jumpsuit.
Yeah, jumper, romper.
I don't think if I put it on, I would call it a romper. But I think I might jumper. I think I've been thinking about trying a jumper.
Don't.
Yeah?
No?
No, you're good.
I like the immediate absolute.
Hey, I just like if you get the jumper that says Ray on it, you look like a straight mechanic with.
Why? But why no jumper?
I maybe could see you in one. Definitely looser though.
Yeah, is there a dick outline problem in the jumpers?
I was thinking that there might be a little. Whoa, someone's bragging.
Yeah.
Is there whoa, hold on a second. Can I get an extra leg in my romper? Or
that's right. Extra loose on the bottom, if possible. If they make them like that.
Also, have you ever worn one? Do you have IBS by any chance?
I don't have IBS.
Okay, then you're good.
Do you?
No. Well, sometimes I've sharded almost. Well, I've sharded.
I bet you could make one though, or get one made that where you can just rip like a Velcro on the bottom.
That would be nice.
I had a onesie, like pajama onesies that had a butt flap. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
So I could poop and be warm at the same time. It was great. It was great.
Do you
I loved
remember
it.
the guy we were in Kentucky? We travel together now,
yes.
right? We were in Kentucky, and this father and son. One of my favorite things about traveling together is that we have a lot of fathers and sons come out to our shows.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
We have a lot of families that show up, which I really like.
This guy shows up. He goes, "Hey, my son and I came to see you last year. We took a picture with you. Can you sign it?" And I said, "Sure." And it was like an 8x10. And I looked down, and he goes, "Notice anything? The pants I was wearing made it look like I had the biggest dick, and it was outlined like perfectly. Like it looked."
It looked like it looked like literally he had put a cucumber in his pants.
That big.
And they printed one for him to sign and printed one for him to keep.
Yeah, it was.
He looks at me in the meet and greet line and he goes, "Look at that." And I was like, "Oh, gross." I was like, "Why? Why is your dick out in that photo?"
Yeah.
And
Why
also
would he frame that too.
Well, I thought it was hilarious the fact that he printed one out for you just to have.
Take home just in case I wanted it.
Yeah.
Which I did.
Which you did.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Dinner table. You're like, everybody hungry? Look at Dad. Look what Daddy's got.
It made me laugh.
I showed it to my wife. The first thing she said is, she goes, "It doesn't really look like that." I'm like, "I know." What? You gonna say that?
We all know.
We all know. You and I know that. But I was just showing you.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
You were wearing some pretty tight pants though, and you still have some pretty tight pants that I think need to get rid of.
Here's where I'm at with the tight pants.
Like the white jeans.
Like are they like straight legs?
Here's where I'm at.
They're more skinny. Like they're tight. Like they're what I'm wearing. They're like tight at the thighs, but a little baggier around, like knee down. But they're skinny jeans.
Okay.
Here's where I'm at.
You should air dry your jeans because they.
I'll just call myself an older guy.
You're old.
Okay. I think there's only a couple more years where I can wear pants like that, where I don't have old man ass.
Okay.
You know, old man ass, where it's just like
flat, and then you have the big gut that sticks out. That's super hard.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like maximize my time pre that.
Cool dad.
Right.
Do you think he's cool dad?
Oh, I think he's a cool dad. Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice.
100%. He's definitely with the friends that I had growing up. Was definitely the coolest dad. Because dads generally aren't that cool.
Well, yeah. My dad wears cutoff sweatpants, shorts all the time. And
does he cut himself?
Yeah.
Oh, he cuts himself.
That's what I was going to ask too.
Oh, he cuts them himself.
Are they really frayed at the bottom too?
They're pretty frayed, but he used to get his mom to sew up the pockets because apparently he has very large thumbs and they'd get caught when he walked, which is crazy. It's insane.
That's Neanderthal shit.
It's nuts.
Large thumbs that get caught in my pocket?
He'd walk and it would irritate him in a way that would send him into a spiral, so they'd have to sew him up.
Why is he walking like this?
I don't know how my dad walks, but it's not normal. Clearly.
Also, why do you
also storming?
Why do you want pants also with no pockets? Like,
bizarre.
I know women have to deal with it a lot because most of your jeans just don't have pockets.
I'm still
why no pockets? Pockets are essential. Like, why? I love pockets. They're the best. I need pockets.
I'm gonna need to see a video of him walking. Does he still?
You're not gonna get past this.
Is he still like?
There's something going on. I'm not sure. I think my whole family walks with our arms. Like I hit my elbow 3 times today, and I was like, "What? How am I walking?"
Yeah.
Like I think I'm walking normally. Maybe I'm just like. One of those.
Do you ever get your thumbs caught?
No, my thumbs have never once entered my pocket. I've never once. I walk like a normal fucking person. I'm not. I don't know. The man's insane, but I wouldn't say my dad's cool. A lot of Costco attire.
How short are the shorts?
They're pretty short. They're getting up.
Like mid thigh or?
Oh no! They go in the dryer and they roll up a bit. They cuss up. Oh yeah. No, my dad. And guess what? He's got. Definitely a bigger penis than yours. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow.
I saw it by accident.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here like begging, Papa, please. No, it was an accidental see.
Yeah. An accidental. Was it you walked in a room? Was it he had prostate cancer and I went home. He's fine now. And I went home to help him out. And we went to walk the dog one day and he just went, Jesus Christ. And I went, and I look over, because that's what a human does when someone screams like that. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
And I look over, and the catheter had come out of his enormous penis, and then I had to watch him put it back in, and it's ruined my life. I will say, frankly, it has.
Just you telling that story might have ruined my life.
Well, just seeing your dad's penis. I went my whole life. 2 daughters. Me and my sister never saw my dad's dick. Our whole life growing up. 32 years old. There I am.
A way worse time.
Way worse time.
Because at a younger age, your brain can block it out at a certain point. You're like, I don't think I saw that. Maybe it was a dream, terrible dream, but
like not a real understanding of what we're looking at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at 32, do you understand what is happening?
What it is, and I'm like my poor mother. I was very upset for her.
He walked in on me, my wife and I having sex.
Oh yeah. You want to guess the age?
Oh, please don't say it's high school. 16.
18. My senior year.
Oh,
I was.
You saw full skin?
I'm not gonna try and relive the memory in my head.
No. Let's get a piece of paper and a pad, and I would like to.
We can make one of those things where you spin the pages.
Yeah, it was.
You good at sketching? I got some sharpening pencils.
We got a police sketch guy in here. That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Police artist in here to do a quick little mock-up.
Yeah, it wasn't great. After I was so quiet though, they didn't hear me because I assumed they were sleeping. It was 7 a.m. I was trying to go to school.
Morning sex.
I was trying to go to school to get an education.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
you were trying to get the hell out of the house so you had to watch this anymore.
Right. So I walked in and I saw what I saw. I was quietly closed the door and I went and sat in my room for about 20 minutes. And I was like, I'm just gonna be late today. I didn't think he needed 20 minutes, but I thought I'd just give him 20 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, look, I said what I said.
Yeah.
So
you saw what you saw.
Yeah, exactly.
20 minutes max.
Yeah. Look, and he was moving slow. I didn't think he was going more than 20 minutes. So.
By the way, can I tell you, at my age, more than 20 minutes sounds terrible.
My age? You kidding me?
That sounds like.
Why was it? Someone told me they did it for 3 hours today. Why?
That sounds
terrible.
Put it
in, put it out, go to bed. What are we doing here?
I'm
exhausted.
If someone's like, I fucked all night long, I'm like, what? Why? Are you sick?
Yeah, no, something's wrong with you.
Something wrong with you?
No, call the police.
Does your dick not work?
No, also, nobody wants that.
Women don't want it.
No, they do not want that.
That seems like a friction issue.
It is. It's not even that. It's just at what point are we done? We're done. That's something.
Yeah.
When you're young, you're flopping around, you're doing different positions. Now I'm like, my back hurts.
Yeah.
I've been doing act outs all night. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. Honestly, I want to lie.
If this is gonna be 20 minutes, this is gonna be a bit. I want you to know that.
Literally. Yeah. Literally.
I'm gonna talk about you on stage tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, big time. Did you ever see your parents have sex?
Yes.
I remember this story.
I was walking out of my bedroom when I was a kid. Was across the hallway from my parents' bedroom. And I just walked out of my bedroom. I was like probably 11, and they had left the door open.
Well, that's just.
By the way,
crazy.
Knowing my grandfather, it seems like he did it on purpose as like a dominance move.
Just to be like.
My dad used to shit with the door open and call us in.
For what reason?
So
hey, come take a look at this.
One time, so he's on the toilet, right? And my friend Gary Miles was at my house, and we just hear, "Boys, come in here." He was calling us from his bedroom. So I thought he needed something. He goes, boys, come in here. Boys, come in here. And we walk in and we turn the corner. He's on the bedroom. He goes in here and we look in the bathroom and he's just on the shitter with the door open. He goes, what are you guys doing today? And I was like, oh, my
Come on.
Yo, Gary was like, I'm never coming back to this house. I'm like, I don't blame you, dude.
Christ.
Yeah, I'm amazed you had friends who even came over after stuff like that.
He loved to shit with the door open.
Oh, no.
God.
That's a dominance thing, though.
That is a dominance thing. And to call you in and the mid push.
Yeah.
Like you can't wait a second.
By the way,
yeah,
it wasn't just his
crazy.
kid. It wasn't just you.
Yeah.
It was boys, both of you. Come in here. I want you to
that's
see what's going on.
dominance.
Yeah, that's.
I have no desire. Like, I've been married almost 20 years. I don't want her in the bathroom when I shit.
No, but you fart in front of each other.
On her.
Yeah,
but I don't.
No, you fart in her.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You don't
That's,
fart. Yeah,
by the way,
yeah,
when you get after a couple of years, you try to find some new stuff. And you're like,
Yeah,
well, you didn't like that? Okay, we'll try something else.
Because I've been asking people on stage about farting because I have a fart bit and it's killing. No, it actually bombed last night. But anyways, I have this fart bit where I ask couples now if they fart in front of each other. A woman in fucking Dania Beach, Florida, 25 years married to her husband, has never once farted in front of him. Goes downstairs every time she has to fart.
What if
Isn't
she's in
that
bed and
sick?
going? What if she's in bed and like getting ready for like? What if she's going to
She
sleep
gets
soon?
up and goes downstairs. She does not fart in front of her husband. And I was like, what the fuck?
Does he
is
fart
wrong
in front
with
of
you?
her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he definitely does.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I just don't like it. I go, you have a medical problem.
Yeah.
Is there a doctor in here? Where is it going? You are
hold
getting up.
it?
You hold it in and run downstairs.
Can I tell you?
Crazy.
I feel like it would come out as she's going the
Yes.
stairs. Like every step is like.
There was a
Like, fucking, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why?
That seems.
There was a girl in
Bizarre.
college I used to have
Absurd
sex
to
with.
me.
And we'd have sex, and then in the morning she'd wake up and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get us some donuts." And I was like, "Cool."
Sounds great.
So I found out eventually. She was like, I shit every morning, and I just didn't want to do it at your place. So I said I was going to get donuts, and so I would go, "You'd shit at the donut place?" And she's like, "Yeah." They'd always know I was coming in for donuts and take a shit. So the guy behind the counter knew that I was taking a shit and buying you donuts. I'm like, yeah.
That is
so funny.
hilarious.
But I
What a
didn't
crazy
know-
regular.
I know, but like also, good, were the donuts good?
Donuts were great.
Okay, so you're like, fuck it, yeah.
And by the way, and I go, you could have told me that. She goes, I didn't want to ruin the donuts. I'm like, nothing's going to ruin.
Nothing.
I assume you shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's shitting, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I assume that's happening. I appreciate you not doing it at my house.
Yeah, that's nice. Are you farting from your girlfriend?
Yes.
Is she farting too?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a certain point where I was like, I don't want to do this yet. And she goes, you can. I'm comfortable enough. I go, I just want you to know that once you open this door, you cannot close it. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Like this
That's
is
it.
a
Yeah.
forever thing now. And she was like, okay. And right then and there, I decided to just let go one of the most vicious ones I could conjure up. And she was like, I regret that decision. I go, no turning back now.
That's it now. Once you
Yeah, no turning back.
What's your timeline though? So like, how far into a relationship are we comfortable with that?
I think I'm farting too soon. That's why I'm single. So I think
Okay.
I think I'm just letting it loose. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it should be like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks.
I think it depends on how
Is that
comfortable.
too soon?
I think that's too soon.
Yeah. I think so.
Damn it. Okay.
You said a couple weeks thinking, well, I'm going to make it longer than I think it should be.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did. I was like, tack on some time, tack on some days.
I can tell by the question mark. Maybe a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys are like, yeah, hell yeah, high five me. And you're like, no, you sick
No,
pig.
it took a little while.
3 years.
Yeah. I think it depends on how close you are with your partner and like how close you
that's
become.
legit.
But
Yeah.
I will say, like the first time I farted in front of my girlfriend, it was on accident, and it was while we were both sleeping. I told you this
Okay,
story,
well,
right?
sleep
Sleep
farts, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Well, but so I found out later because I let one go in my sleep, and it woke me up, and I was like, she didn't move, she hasn't said anything. I'm gonna go back to sleep because why would I rat myself out, right? She didn't.
Yeah, go to bed.
A couple months went by, and we were talking about something, and I think it was like farting in front of each other, and she goes, "Do you remember that time when you farted in your sleep?" And I was like, "Were you awake for that?" And she goes, "It was like an earthquake. How is it not
Yeah.
waking me up?" And she goes, "Were you?"
fell out of bed.
She goes, yeah. She goes, "Were you awake?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Why didn't you say anything?" I go, I'm not going to rat myself out because if you're asleep and didn't hear it or nothing happened, why? I'm just going to wake you up and say, hey, sorry, just might have shat on you a little bit, but go back to sleep.
You're not gonna wake her up and tell her that's weird as hell.
Yeah, and she waited months to tell me it.
That's so funny.
And then she was like, yeah, don't do that again. I go, hey, sleep farts you can't control. Like,
you can't control that.
it's probably going to happen again.
My college roommate, used to make me laugh. It's just a typical young dude thing. Farting in your sleep is funny, but I would hear, and and then I would hear, that was a good one. And then we're in this middle of the night, and then just like that. He did that for himself.
He would
that
sleep
was a good
talk.
one. Yeah,
That's
God.
crazy.
that was a good one. Then go back to sleep. I was like,
Like,
That
he woke him up and he
is
loved it.
nuts.
I think my problem is my first boyfriend didn't have a sense of smell, so I could fart all the time.
Oh,
All the time.
interesting.
I would.
you got
I would-
spoiled.
Oh,
Didn't
I
have a
got
sen-
it.
Did he have like just like a medical condition to where
He
he
just
couldn't
never
smell?
smells anything. So he ate like very specific weird foods that like for texture wise, and then I would just fart all the time.
did you ever test it? Like when you were sitting down, just like fart behind his head and just
I'd
kind of
fart when
waft
he's
it?
eating me out. I'd fart all the time. I would just constantly fart. I could fart during sex all the time.
Yeah, but he could hear it.
He found it funny. It was hilarious.
I'm
The
not
picture
sure-
just hearing a fart and never smelling it. It's funny stuff.
That's really interesting.
Maybe not when I'm eating somebody out, because that's so close to my mouth.
I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna try it. Why wouldn't I? I'm not gonna not try it. I
By
gotta
the
see
way,
what happens.
that-
Let's see if you really don't smell.
That is
This
the
is a-
brain. That is the brain of a comic.
This
It's
is-
like,
I was
well,
gonna
let
say
me
the
let me
same
try
thing.
and ruin your life real quick.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I do stuff for the bit all the time. Sometimes I'll literally like sleep with a guy, and then I'm like, I know it's gonna be bad, but in my head I'm like, I know something funny will happen.
Right.
And it usually does. Sometimes.
He's a full commit to the bit kind of guy.
I love doing things for the bit.
Yeah.
What else are we doing?
What else are we doing? Wait, so when did you two start touring together?
Just the start of this year, actually.
Oh, shit.
I was
Okay.
working in TV production for like 7 years.
Oh, okay.
And I was tired of being at the bottom and saw, our clips and stuff climbing, and found I had a good foot in the door, and so we just tried it.
Yeah.
We would do like my first big special, which is on YouTube, which has like 11 million views. Whatever.
12. 12.
No big deal.
Yeah. That's a lot.
But it is an hour, and basically it's a story about him challenging me to a fight. It's basically the whole hour, right?
Yeah.
And so my fans feel like they know him. So when he comes on stage, it's like a bonus for him. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the only joke he tells about me either. Like a lot of his I'm the indirect breadwinner of this family. Like if the jokes about me weren't going on in middle school and high school,
Can't argue with
there
that.
wouldn't have been food on the table. So
argue
it's
with
not
that.
just the fight one.
yeah.
There was a whole bunch of them,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's so many that people think they know who I am, and because they do. But I just started doing my own time by myself at the end of March.
Oh, nice. Oh, shit.
Yeah, and so the Q&A thing was like my kind of intro to it. We've been doing that for almost 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
It was on and off, certain weekends, certain cities where we knew we would get like good reception and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then that turned into a once or twice a month thing. And then at the end of 2022, I was like, hey, I am done with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's make a
fun
move.
this. Yeah.
And he's my buddy, you know?
Yeah, no, this is nice. I know. I'm like,
He's my buddy. So it's like a really cool thing for me to be able to do.
yeah.
And honestly, you know what I like most about it is that comedy, the actual sets are secondary now.
That's so nice.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's such a cool thing to be able to hang out with him and shoot the shit. And we fuck with each other.
Yeah,
I won't let him get his own hotel room. So it's just,
We've named the tour One Room, Two Beds.
yeah, one room, two beds.
So
yeah, I don't let him get his own hotel room.
You shit with the door open. Get in here.
But every time he goes to
Yeah.
the bathroom, I'm like, are you going to masturbate? He's like, stop it. I don't want to talk about that.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it's a
it
good
really
time.
changes the road because I've been on the road a lot recently, and when I now bring my like best friends to open for me.
Yeah.
and it's like
Changes everything,
It changed
right?
everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, all I want to do is go eat with them and hang out with them, and then the shows are fun. I love the
Right.
shows. I'm like happy doing them, but I'm like, no, I want to go out with him and fucking eat a nice meal.
Because you're like, you don't realize until you bring people with you that you like. You're like, did I spend yesterday talking to nobody? Like I spent 12 hours in my room saying 0 words. It's way lonelier, and you think, oh, this is just what comics do, but it's
not. It doesn't have to be that.
It doesn't have
No,
to be that.
it doesn't.
And it's so weird because I did that for the first all last year. I was like on the road, but then I'd go to clubs with people that are like super weird. That I'd be like,
In the
"You wanna
green
hang
room
out?"
weird?
Oh, I had one guy, this Mormon guy, who wouldn't come in the green room with me.
What?
He kept walking by, and then I just kept seeing him looking. I'm like, you can come in if you want. He's like, oh, okay. And he comes in.
You
He
had a
just,
Mormon dude
sits
open
really
for you?
awkward. He was like hosting, and he's like, I was like, hello. I'm not gonna suck your dick. I don't know what the hell you think I'm doing in here. Like, it was so bizarre, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Here. It was very
Yeah.
strange.
What did he think about your set?
I don't think he loved it.
Truthfully, I want to know what his set was like.
It was,
Very Mormon-y.
Yeah.
Very, very
I actually
BYU.
had 2 Mormons see me in Phoenix and loved it last weekend. They got photos of me like, we're the Mormons. And I was like, I just shit on you for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there a lot of Mormons in Phoenix?
No, weirdly, I keep getting, because I have a whole soaking bit now, so I keep like asking if anyone's Mormon. A lot of ex-Mormons at shows, but not
Shocker.
usually.
I wonder why they'd want to jump out of that.
Do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think?
I can't get into that. Scary.
Do you think when Scientology came along, Mormons were like, "Phew, we're not the weird ones now." Yeah, look at these fucks. Yeah.
I honestly get scared talking about Scientologists in LA.
Yeah, I would.
Because they're like they're everywhere. And
Everywhere.
I live close to one of the buildings.
And you never know.
You never know who's. Yeah.
By the way, one of the buildings they own so much of Hollywood.
Yeah, that whole block radius, that whole like right at like Fountain and whatever the fuck it is.
They're
Yeah, it's
way
crazy.
more of a real estate company now than anything else. They own basically the whole city, I think, of Clearwater, Florida. But they
Jesus.
own so fucking much real estate. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can-
Have you ever wanted to, either one of you, just go in and take the test and see?
Can't.
No.
What do you mean you can't?
This is why. So I've said this before on like I know a past episode, but I have to tell you guys 'cause it's fucked. I had a friend of mine had 2 friends come in from Halifax, Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. They came in. They're like, haha, let's go in and do the test. Fake name. They don't put any IDs down. Like, oh, we have no ID. Fake name, fake phone number. They go in thinking they're laughing. It was a lobster brunch. They go in. They have the lobster. They listen to the spiel. They're like, hilarious. Do the thing. Funny. They go home. A week later, they both get phone calls on their actual cell phones. A number they did not provide.
Oh.
Hey, we just want to follow up on your Scientology visit you had last week. They have like fucking face scans or the fuck when you walk in there, and they found them. In fucking Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, they found them.
No, I'm good.
You can't go in there.
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't thinking about going in as a fake me. I was thinking about going in as
Real
me.
you?
Just to see. I just want to
Stop
see.
you.
Seems like a bad idea.
So
Seems like a bad
I
idea.
feel like I'm mentally strong enough. By the way, that story is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I was like,
Super.
why are you not reacting? This is insane.
Super.
Yes.
Wait, so they face scanned him?
Or how else do they find them?
They have cameras probably all throughout
Yeah.
that place. The face
Oh,
scan
yeah.
technology is a thing now too. So every person who walks in a certain door, I guarantee you gets scanned, and they have your real name and real everything that pops up
But don't
right
you
there.
think you're strong enough to fight the
Oh, they're strong enough.
No,
but the idea
no,
that
you,
they-
aren't you?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I'm not going to fall for this fucking
No,
lunacy,
it's
but-
not the mentality like being mentally weak. It's the fact that they have so much power and so much money, and it's like they pretty much control most of the world. Like,
There's a lot. I don't know, but there's a lot. There's something underground there. They're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to
That's
put it.
not, They're weird, but they're nice people.
yeah, I've been into that Scientology church on like just the church on I think it's Franklin, something like that.
Yeah.
I had a friend was doing a performance there. Like, it was so weird. They had they were doing a concert there, like for their album or whatnot, and it was just in this empty church, and it was super creepy. Like, that thing's looked like it's been there from the
Yeah.
beginning of time.
Check
And
in with
that's-
me in a couple months.
Yeah,
maybe. I'll see.
maybe a different.
And if you can't find him in a couple months, you know what?
Yeah, we know where he is. He's in the building. Let's get into the body stuff.
I like
want to
it.
get into your
Ooh,
body
yeah.
stories.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
You like it because I heard there's a visual with his, and I'm getting very excited.
Oh yeah, they're.
Well, not like the day that it happened, but I have what it looks like.
No, what it
now.
looks like now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Can I get my
Get
phone?
your phone if there's more visuals. We love a good visual.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that one of the stories was.
Hey, you're talking while you're not next
yeah,
to
we.
a mic.
So that's great podcasting.
yeah,
I want to make
great
sure
job.
guys outside taking a
By
fucking.
the way,
Yeah.
this old dude. Yeah, I wanna.
Skinny jeans are still cool, right? Is this how you like? Yeah, that's you fucking talking.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I've done this a couple times.
Yeah,
I should
yeah.
be able to figure out.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
wanted
so
to-
who wants to go first? So this is not a combined story. Are you
No,
telling
no,
them
it's two
together?
separate ones.
You want to go first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so I'm 26 now, and 10 days before my 19th birthday, I just dropped out of college, and I was home, and I was working TV production, and I got my very first job on a show, and it's March 10th, March 7th. And
My
we're-
birthday.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And he's March 17th.
On the 17th.
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Woo. And so,
Stupid.
Yep.
and so I'm unloading the house. I'm a PA, and we're closing down the house, and it's that Harry Houdini house on Laurel Canyon. Do you know where that one was?
Okay.
And so that's where we're shooting, and we're breaking everything down. And I've been on the back of this truck loading, doing this for about, I'd say probably 3 months now. And we are closing the house out. And so those big moving trucks, right, with the black lift on the back,
Yes.
right? So I get on that, and we're holding 2 makeup vanities, and I'm holding it with as my length and doing what I can, and I don't notice where my left foot is.
No.
And so when it comes up, those things, are built off of hydraulic pressure. They're built to lift thousands of pounds. And so when it came up and connected to the back of the truck, my foot was right there. And it crushed the 3 toes on my left foot. And when I say crushed, I mean, you've cracked your knuckles before?
Yeah,
By the way,
you're like crushed.
Almost cut one of them
Completely off. Like, so like cracking knuckles, right?
Yeah.
So it sounded like that, but way more painful because it wasn't cracking knuckles.
Yeah,
it was my bones in powder. Like,
Oh, God.
and so
and you're now it's paused on there, and you can't get.
well, it's so yeah. So right as it happened, and everybody heard the crack, I screamed and I went, "Yo, lower it, lower it." Shut up. I was like, "Lower it, lower it, lower it." And so the minute I was able to slide my foot out, I did. And I jumped off the back of it and just landed on my right leg and immediately was on the ground. Like, I was trying to find something to grab. Because you know when you get hurt, you like grab that area of your body. I can't grab my foot or my toes. Like, so I'm like grabbing my leg and doing whatever I can. I took my belt off and I'm like biting. I'm
Were
trying.
people over here like coming to help you out?
Yeah, so some bosses came over and one of my bosses looked at it and goes, "You just want some ice?" And I was like, "Did you hear what just happened?"
So is your shoe still on or is it off now?
Shoe's still on. They're like,
Okay,
let's take it off and just ice it.
Can I just say one thing about the shoe? There wasn't even one of the reasons that when I showed up at the hospital that I didn't think it was going to be that serious. There wasn't even a crease in the shoe.
What kind of shoe is this?
Yeah,
It was a brand called Creative Recreation, and after we told them
a crease.
yeah, and after we
in
told
the
them
shoe.
about it, they were like, "Go pick out some more shoes. We'll send you some." And I was like, "This is great marketing." And so
Crush your toes.
yeah, fucking right. And so one of the bosses like, you just take your foot off or take your shoe off and put some ice on it. And I was like, "No." I go, "I don't know what my feet look like right now. I'm keeping my shoe on to keep my toes intact. Call an ambulance or get me in a
Yeah.
car." And we looked over and they go, "Yeah, all of our production vehicles are gone." I was like, "What?" They go, "Yeah, they went to go shoot B-roll like 2 hours ago." And I was like, "Great, call an ambulance." But it was 4 p.m. on a Tuesday,
On
like
Laurel Canyon,
on Laurel
yeah.
Canyon, and it's one each way. So they were like, "All right, next best thing, let's call an Uber."
They put him in an Uber.
They called and they called an XL. I got in the back of a minivan.
Can I tell you?
XL.
So it was nice.
He calls me, right? I'm on my way into a podcast, and I see his call.
With him.
And I'm almost like, I'll call him later. Do you know what I mean? But
So glad he didn't.
But I was like, yeah,
my
let me
God.
hop on. I hop on the phone. He tells me what's happening. I can hear the panic in his voice. And so my instinct is always humor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I go, "Hey, dude," and I'm trying to take his mind off it. I go, "Hey, dude, just do me a favor before we go any further. Ask the Uber driver if this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to him." And so I hear him go, okay. And I hear him compose himself and go, "Is this the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you?" And I hear the guy go, "Not even close."
And then right as that sentence
Oh my
ended,
God.
the pain hit again.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
screaming. And then he looks and he's on the phone and he goes, "Hey, how's the Uber driver doing?" And another composure wipes the tears and I look at him and I go, "He's driving the speed limit. He's
Yeah.
doing pretty good." Like, he was very composed. But I assume one of my bosses had called him and said, "Hey, here's a heads up. We're going to the hospital. You're going to have a screaming person in your car."
Yeah.
And we get there, and my director on that show had an in at the hospital in Hollywood. And so he gets me in the fast track room, and I'm only in there for 30 minutes. And there's the way the ER room is filled. And I'm the only one who looks like they're in actual pain.
Yeah.
They get me a wheelchair, and the woman at the desk is like, "My elbow feels funny." And I'm like, "What? Why are you here?" Like, she's not going before me,
toes are
motherfucker.
off.
Yeah. And
literally.
Yeah, I don't know
doctor,
if you know how toes work.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
stay on.
Attached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
doctor came out. He got me. We went in the back and got into
Yeah,
a fast
dude.
track room. And I'm still
You still have no idea what they look like. You've no
no
clue.
idea. I'm losing my fucking mind.
Do they feel like they're bleeding? Like, what does it feel like in the shoe?
There's no way for me to describe it.
Okay.
I can't even give you something that's made me that happy on like an opposite scale. Like that pain and for me terror, because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna
up and
happen.
And again,
Yeah.
because of the shape of the shoe, I'm like, how bad could this be,
But
right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I told him on the phone, I was like, "Yo, I think my whole foot is broken." Like I've never heard something clear as day as that
when
crack.
they took his
Did
shoe,
they cut it off?
No. So I was able to. I unlaced it pretty much
Okay.
and just slipped it off. They cut my sock off.
Okay.
And when they cut my sock off, it was stuck to one of the bottom of my toes because there was a very large laceration on my foot. So I'll show you. So right. So big toe, pinky toe, we're fine. My big toe and pinky toe somehow made it out.
Okay.
So it's all these three in the middle.
Okay.
And
do you know, by the way, what, when we went to the foot surgeon, He goes, just because he was like, you might lose all 3 of those toes. He said, because they were black.
Well, you're skipping so far in advance. But you're skipping so far.
We're not going to tell the people, but my favorite part of the story.
I like how this is my story too.
The guy goes, the foot surgeon goes, I go, what about those toes? Is he going to lose those toes? He goes, even if he does, the pinky toe and the big toe are the only ones that matter. He goes, those are his beach toes. I go, beach toes? He goes, you just need them for the beach. I was like, what?
They're just for show.
Yeah, he goes, they're just for show. They don't
like essentially,
no
the human anatomy, you only need the balance is just the 2 on the end. Big toe mainly. The pinky toe is whatever, but the big toe, the big toe is the biggest one. And so we're sitting in there, and they take my sock off, and they gave me when I got in there half a Norco and a Tylenol.
That's nothing.
No. I took that before this podcast.
and they're going and looking at it, and an hour and a half goes by, and I can't sit still. I don't know what to do. And I grabbed him by the shirt like I was a bully, like a school bully. And I grabbed him and pulled him close. And I said, look, if you don't get me a fucking morphine drip right now, you're going to see the craziest tantrum an 18-year-old has ever fucking thrown. And he turned around immediately and grabbed the nurse. And he was like, hey, we're going to need something better for this guy. And I go, we give him a Norco. Yeah, almost 2 hours ago. Nothing's working. Yeah. 2 minutes later, I had a morphine drip, and I was no longer screaming.
Do you know how quickly that works?
God.
Yo,
right vein?
Yeah, they hit me right here, right as it hit my arm, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, God, this hurts so bad. And then
do you remember what you said? I was like, oh. You go.
I go.
When is this gonna? It's better.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
And I was Oh, it was
scary.
crazy. Now look,
right in the blood.
Yeah. Now look, I smoke weed and I do psychedelics and all that. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go anywhere further than what I do, but I can see why people are addicted to that. That shit was great. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was great.
Because I'm still.
So socks off. Let's get to the socks. Comes off.
He takes the sock off, and I'm sitting there expecting to see maybe a broken toe, whatever. I've never seen mangled flesh like that. So I'm expecting, and I'm trying to play it cool, but when they take the sock off, I go, yikes.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
The worst thing.
The absolute,
honestly worse than, oh my God.
absolute worst thing. So we're sitting there.
God.
Yeah, and we're sitting there, and they're cleaning me up, and like.
So what do they look like now? Are they clawed down? Or are they like up? Are they
I mean, I can show you.
Do you have a photo of what they look like?
That day?
Yeah.
That day, so...
I don't know what I was looking for him. I can't find him.
The toe closest to my pinky toe was the least injured.
Okay.
And it still looks like a boxer's knuckle, so it's like crazy round. Okay. But my nail is still there.
That's what my dick looks like.
Yeah.
Gross.
Like a box knuckle.
Yeah.
The one in the middle.
The nail is still there.
Yeah, of course. Who removes that?
Yeah. That's why it looks so big in the pants. It was a long nail. You just didn't cut it that day. That's what it was.
The one in the middle lost the nail that night. And it has never grown back. So I call it my Slenderman toe.
Okay.
Because it just looks weird. There was also a giant laceration on the back of it. So I have about 15 stitches on the back of this toe. Now, this one is where I was like, just take it. Fuck it. Like, what is that?
Okay.
So there was a crazy laceration pretty much all the way around like this. And so when the doctor was like, hey, so I was like, when am I going into surgery? And they go, so here's the deal. We're either going to stitch you up and send you out tonight, or we're going to prep you for surgery and take your toes. Mm-hmm. I go, what? And they go, yeah, so it's
two very different options.
Very different.
Yeah.
I was like, one way better than the other.
Yeah, I want to keep the toe.
Yeah. And they were...
Toes on?
Yeah.
Toes off?
Toes off. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And
think over that.
Yeah. And they go, so we don't do surgery on toes because it's the smallest appendages on your body. So you're either
there's so many bones.
So you're either going to get stitched up and sent home in recovery, or we're going to take them from you tonight. And I was like, great. Sure. Okay. And doctor came in and she looks at my toes and she goes, you want to see something nasty? And I go, sure, I'm on drugs. And she takes my toe and she peels the top of it back.
Yeah.
And the
like
top of my bone is just like boop. And I was like, okay, you can put that back. I'm good. Thanks.
Why would she?
I'm not going to lie. Prior to that, I'm sitting there freaking out. And he looks at me and he goes, hey, I know this is probably bad timing, but you're probably going to want them later. Do you mind if I take some photos of your feet? And I was like, fuck no. And he was like, well, you can't stop me. I'm going to do it anyways. And he goes over and starts taking photos of my feet.
Oh my God.
And so she obviously probably read through and was like, you guys are weird enough. You want to see something gross?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And lifted it like seriously.
It was, and I was like, okay, that's enough. I'm good.
I hate
and she's looking at it and she goes, okay, so surprisingly, you have 0 ligament damage in all 3 of your toes. And I go, really? She goes, yeah, just some intense lacerations. I go, no shit, you just showed me my bone. Yeah, thanks, Cap. So she goes, great. So we're gonna give you some Novocaine to numb up the spots. We're gonna stitch you up, and send you out of here. And I was in that room for 6 hours, something like that. It was, it was nuts. And then when we got home that night, they were like, if he starts to bleed profusely, let us know. We got home that night, and I was like, fuck it, let's just check. And they had bandaged me up. The whole top of my bandage from my was just red, and I was like, we should go see that specialist tomorrow. And so
he's bled all night.
Yeah. So for 3 months, I couldn't put a shoe on my foot or a sock. Every week I went to a foot specialist to get it checked out. And so there were days where like they had to clean my toes because they would bleed inside that bandage. So I'd have to go every week, and the blood would dry eventually. So they'd have to rip the gauze off of my toes.
We bleed.
And I was stitched up too. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I will say one of the most painful parts was them taking the stitches out. Why didn't you give me dissolvable stitches? They had to like legit, like it was cut. I was like, yo, that.
Let's not look past that your toes were either black or purple for about 3 weeks.
Yeah. So at about,
and that's not I don't know if you know that, not a great color.
No, for skin.
That's
dead.
At about week 3, we went in for my checkup, and we pulled the bandage off, and I go, oh, those aren't supposed to look like that, right? And he goes,
what was the doctor's name again?
Dr. Dardashti.
Dude, this guy was a fucking
savage.
Straight G.
Absolutely. And so he goes, no, but I'm gonna figure something out. And I was like, thanks. That's awesome. But I had my friends start calling me Nubs because I was so confident that I was gonna lose my toes. I was just getting it into my head. I was like, you're gonna lose your toes. You're gonna get over it. Have everybody call you Nubs. And if something great happens, then beautiful surprise.
Yeah.
And
but your one toe right now looks like it grew a brain.
Yeah. Well,
I can't wait to see
it's
the
like
toes.
thin, and then it goes.
But
can't wait to see the toes.
But so he was like, I'm gonna do. He said, I'm gonna do something I've never done before, and I was like, I don't want to hear that. Why would you say that? And he goes, I'm gonna prescribe a patch for you, and it's nitroglycerin. So nitroglycerin is what people rub on their hearts, on their chest when they're having a heart attack. It opens the blood vessels up and allows blood to continue to flow. And he goes, I'm gonna prescribe you a patch with like 0.009 milliliters on it. It's very, very light amount. Every morning you're going to wake up, you're going to put it on the top of your foot, let it sit for 12 hours, and then you're going to take it off after 12 hours. And he said, and we'll see what happens. You don't seem very confident.
Yeah.
And
do you remember the percentage he gave you for your toes?
But I didn't find out that percentage until after. So about 5 or 6 weeks go by, and color starts to come back on my toes. And I was like, and the flakes of dead skin were legit just like falling off. And I was like, oh, yo, this actually worked.
Yeah.
And then on the day that I got to put a shoe on and had no more crutches, I looked him in the eye and I go, give it to me straight, doc. Always wanted to say that, by the way. Yeah. I was like, give it to me straight, doc. What was the percentage you had in your head of me keeping my toes when you first saw me? And he goes, truthfully? I go, yeah, because I'm in the clear now.
Yeah.
He was like 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
I looked at him, I go, really? He goes, yeah, you happen to be that 1 out of 10.
Those toes were.
Let's see the toes.
Oh yeah.
They were so mangled, and so it had severed all the arteries. So he was like, I don't know how the blood is going to.
Yeah, but
right?
so I got a lot of anatomy lessons. So on your toes, there's two vessels on the top and 2 on the bottom. 3, if not all 4 of mine were compromised in my toes. So there was just no blood flow, period.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was like,
explains the black and purple looking.
What if I just projectile on your foot?
Or you just started. You put this toe in your mouth. You're like, I always want it.
You want it right here?
Right here. We got people to see this.
By the way, his.
So.
Okay. Let's see.
Look at these 3 right here.
Oh yeah.
So this is the good one.
Yeah, that one looks great.
This is the Slender Man.
Yes.
And then this one lost its nail and then decided to grow back.
Does Aaron want to come over here and see it? Aaron has to see it.
This part right here, while my toes were healing, they were always so close together.
Oh, I
so
see.
the skin reformed over. Like, look, you see this little, it's like an L almost.
Yeah.
It's like Pinky in the Brain.
You should tattoo that like E.T.
That's a great idea.
That's
a great idea.
We wanted to get a tattoo that said "Feet don't fail me now."
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And that makes
we
me
almost
laugh.
got matching.
Honestly, they look pretty fun. I thought they'd be way worse than that.
Yeah, look, from afar, you're like, nah, his toes are all right. And then you get
Who's
close.
that close to your toes? Like that was absurd.
Nobody. I don't want anybody that close to my toes. But
why would anyone?
But yeah,
it's the girl on the right there. She's got a problem.
Yeah, it's fun to fuck with friends though when it first happened. Like when they were sleeping, I'd like touch them with it, and they'd be like, "What was that?" And I go, "Nothing. Don't worry about it."
It also kind of looks like there is a nail on that one. You can even paint it. Paint your toenails.
It's just growing back all irregular.
He
and
has
like
such long toes. When he was a kid, I told him, I was like, you have tingers. You have like fingers on your toes. You could like hang upside down, but those tingers.
Not anymore.
No.
No.
You ain't hanging from nothing with those bad boys.
Facts. But
You
yeah,
can
so
feel them fine now. Everything's fine.
yeah, I got permanent nerve damage. So when it's
Okay.
really cold, my toes kind of go a little numb.
Okay.
When I'm on a plane, sometimes, and not always, but altitude will sometimes do it.
Yeah.
But I will say, this is the weird part. Like, it's 50-50. When I stub my toe, sometimes I'm like, meh. But other times, I'm screaming, and I'm like, I quit. Like I just rebroke my toes again,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's pretty
A
ridiculous.
couple weeks ago, you called me. You were like, my toes purple or something, right?
Yeah, there was. It just happens sometimes, and for me,
Okay.
it doesn't really freak me out. Oh no, it wasn't purple. It was really red.
Red.
But there are some times where I don't know how, but I get bug bites on my toes. Like it doesn't make any sense. But
Well, he put a bug in your toe. I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah,
Stop.
that's he put a bug in there.
That's
why.
what
Sorry,
helps the
sorry,
blood
you're not-
flow. Yeah.
1 out of 10.
Did I?
That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, bug in
One
the toe.
bug, not 10. Yeah, that's what.
yeah, but so that was.
Shit, I love a demo too. Thank you for bringing those
Now,
up.
I love to.
do you want to
I
see
want to show people?
a picture of mine pre or post story?
Oh, so what? Okay.
So this happened-
What are we
I
talking
would go
about
post.
here?
I would go post.
Post? Okay, let's do post.
This happened to me when I was in high school, but I wanted to tell you a story about something that happened to me, right?
Yes.
And so, well, then I'll show it to you and you can guess.
Okay.
No, I feel
Should
like
I?
because I feel like it's gonna. Okay.
Oh fuck. Okay. That's a mask. You can show. That looks crazy.
That is me.
That is.
Oof.
What is that? That is.
Looks even worse on camera.
I'm gonna guess that's like a severe allergy attack or a bug bite. But
So
let's see what this is.
I'm in the. I was
That
actually.
does not look like you.
No.
What the
This
hell?
this was me in my Bobby Lee costume. No.
I'm gonna clip that and tag Bobby Lee.
So no, I was. Okay, I'm in high school.
That's fucking bad.
I was.
That one's rough.
I was in high school. I was. My friend had his parents had this house they rented a house on Cape Cod, and we went down there and we were looking for girls, and we meet these girls out on the beach, and we're hanging and having a good time, and I keep itching my eyes. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But by the way, this girl, I don't know if I ever told you this. This girl, her name was Beth. She couldn't pronounce her R's, and she had really bad breath. So my buddy started calling her Bweth.
That's good. That's perfect.
He was like, yo, Bweth. And she never.
That's
Can I tell you how bad her breath was?
like from here to here?
When we went into the house, he took his girl into the bedroom. I took Bweth into the kitchen and tried to get her to eat a spoonful of peanut butter.
So wait, you were still gonna fuck Beth?
Oh, dude, in high school?
Ew!
In high school, there's zero
No.
deal breakers.
Look,
I
look.
needed the peanut butter. I couldn't fuck her without the
Why?
peanut butter.
People make it more dry. You need a
but also
mince.
peanut butter might make the breath worse.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's-
No,
That sticky
Yeah.
I don't
might
mind the
dry it out.
stickiness. It just, I can't.
What, halitosis? Not flossing? What are we talking about here? Poo?
Her breath?
Yes.
It was like a camel's asshole.
Oh, so dry.
Yeah, dry
and dry
and
heat.
like a hot breath.
caca. Ooh.
And I remember I walked into the kitchen. I'm like, hey, we should eat something. She was like, don't you want to go in the bedroom? I'm like, yeah, let's. I go, how about some peanut butter?
Have some fucking water.
yeah,
Rinse
something
it down.
She
Something
needed
not peanut butter.
something. You know the
Peanut
only thing
butter.
she wanted? She was like, I'd take some of those Doritos. I'm like, no. That's why
No,
we're
add
in this.
cheese to that.
That's why we're in this predicament, probably. Your fucking Dorito habit.
Yeah, we're not
right?
putting Cool Ranch in that fucking mouth.
So I'm scratching. And I wake up the next morning.
So you had sex with breath. This is disgusting.
we-
That's the worst part about that's looking pretty good now.
Listen, Beth, we did not have sex, but we did roll.
kissed her.
We rolled around some. No kissing.
Okay.
No, because she was not. I did a lot of neck kissing. In high school, just dry humping is great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
But
like,
I can't. I would not have with breath. I would have been so grossed out.
yeah, but you farted in somebody's face.
Yeah, but
Who
that's,
couldn't smell it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
It's different.
Thank you for being on
You
record.
could smell her breath.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
couldn't smell the fart.
Yeah,
That's
there's-
different.
Okay.
And it was down there enough. I couldn't smell my fart either. So no one's smelling anything.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
by
worked
the
out.
way, if it went in his mouth, he probably ate the smell. Right? You think that's a physics? If the fart goes in
By the way,
mouth,
I don't think physics
But
is
his
the
mouth
right.
isn't on my asshole.
That's true, but it's pretty. You're right.
It's close. It's
close.
It's like,
By the way,
it's like connected down
It's a
there.
neighbor.
By the way,
Well,
physics.
it's a close.
Physics
you can
was,
ask that neighbor for sugar. Like that is a close neighbor. You know.
Yeah.
Physics was not the right subject for your reference.
No. Well, I didn't. I don't know if you do know this, but I didn't do that well in school.
Yeah, you know how I know that?
Yeah.
Because I didn't either.
Yeah.
Like father, like son.
Aww.
That's not what we should be bragging about.
No,
So
yeah, and I was like, congratulations,
yeah,
you're both
you
morons.
dumb
I was
fucks.
like,
Yeah.
Thank God you're on the road together. How do you get the key to work at the hotel room? You're both out there calling
Yeah,
concierge.
So I'm just grabbing him. I'm rubbing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I wake up, and when I wake up, I know I'm awake, but I can't see anything.
That must be like.
So you feel the eyes, but you know there's
It's like a real. There's like a slit of just gooey.
ew, gooey.
Gross.
Right? Because it was so gooey. It was like a yellow
Ew,
goo.
yellow goo.
That was just
I think
right.
that's called pus.
It's
Right, okay.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is my first thought, somebody's playing a joke on me.
My first thought would have been
Perhaps
I'm
mouth is
blind.
on.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody, like my buddy Pat, put some glue or something's happening, but I'm not thinking I can't,
See.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go, hey, Pat. And he kind of rolls over and he goes, yeah. And then I hear him go, what the fuck? And I go, what? I go, what'd you do to my face? He goes, I didn't do. He goes, what's going on? He goes, did you get beat up? I go, in here last night? I was like,
By breath.
do you think I had a
Apparently.
nightmare?
Yeah.
I had a nightmare where I just punched myself in the face repeatedly?
Like, what the
I go,
fuck?
what do you mean? He goes, your face, dude. He goes, it's so fucked up. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, wait right here. I go, where are you going? I could just hear him, boom, 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 boom. Dad, Josh's face is fucked up. What do you mean? You gotta come up here and look at this. And I'm in the room. I can't get out.
Yeah,
I'm
you-
just sitting. I'm just
Panicking.
So I hear
Yeah.
boom, 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 ran up the stairs. And he goes, if you guys are fucking around, and the dad comes in and he goes, oh my God. And he goes, well, I can't have him here.
What?
And I go, I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, you can't be, like, I'm not a doctor. I can't have you here. And
So
I was like,
see?
I go, what's happening right now? Like, I can't see.
By the way, great paternal instincts on that guy.
yeah.
Jesus.
I can't see
Throw him
anything.
outside in the sand.
I can't see anything. So he's like, we got to get you to a hospital
Thank
right now.
God.
Like,
Okay.
we don't, I don't know what the
Okay.
fuck is going
Yeah,
on with
something's
your,
very
with
wrong.
your face. And he
And
gets
you're breathing fine? There's no like throat closing up or anything like that?
breathing fine,
Okay.
but I can feel my face getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told him, I go, the pressure on my face right now is so crazy. I go, what does it look like? He goes, I've never seen anything like it before.
I can't explain it.
He said, first of all, it looks like you're crying thick yellow tears.
Oof.
Ew.
And he said, there is a slow drip of ooze coming out of both sides of your eyes.
Ew, both sides.
And I was just like, what? And then he goes, I don't mean to scare you. I'm like, two?
Well, yeah,
Too
well,
late.
you did.
I'm 16, bro.
Yeah, you
You
did.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Couldn't you just been like, that's no...
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Positive reinforcement.
But
God.
he just kept talking about how in his entire life, he's never seen anything like this before.
And I've seen some horrible
I was in
shit.
Vietnam. You know what I mean? So...
That guy's face get blown off. Look better than you. And you're like, Jesus.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, come on.
Christ.
And we start to drive, and he goes, you know what? And our house was probably 90 minutes. And he goes, you know what? I'm taking you home. I go, we don't.
What?
Want me to go to the doctor? He goes, I don't want to take you to a doctor. I'm like, why not? He goes, well, who's going to pay for that?
No. This is a horrible man.
I go,
Didn't
what
they
do you
just
mean? He
rent
goes,
a
well,
house
if
in
I-
Cape Cod?
Oh,
He
God.
goes, if I take you to the doctor, like, I'm not your parents. I don't have authority. He goes, let me take you home. He goes, I don't think you're going to die or anything. I'm like,
what the hell?
I go, what is it? He goes, I don't know what it is because I'm not a doctor. I'm like, maybe we should go see one real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
pop in.
He said,
Pop in.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Just a
Great,
quick-
let's go find somebody who does know what's going to happen.
You know what he said to me? He goes, you know what? Take a quick nap. We'll be home before you know it. I'm like, you just told me I have thick yellow tears coming out of
Tears.
both sides of my
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
I can't open either eye. And you think I should take a nap?
Good night. Okay, good night.
Oh, you think my mind is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
going to be like, good, I can just
Put the
finally...
windows down. I need a little air to really lull me to sleep here. My God.
So we drove 90 minutes. It was such a bizarre thing not to be able to open my eyes.
And your face is still swelling up. What's your
I
friend
can
doing?
feel
Is
my
going-
heartbeat.
he's
Oh,
napping?
he stayed with the girl on the beach.
Oh, that's nice.
He was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll see you when I get back home." I'm like, "Yeah, there's no reason."
Yeah, that's nice.
Beth offered to come with us.
No.
Yeah, I was like, "You're good."
She would have smoked out that ER. No, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure at the time that it wasn't her breath that did it. I'm like, well,
we
the
gotta
only
make sure.
culprit
Yeah,
could
yeah,
be.
yeah.
By the way, they might have actually attended to her for like gingivitis or something based on how bad the breath was.
You should have brought her.
Yeah.
We drive. He drops me off at my house. He walks me to my door. All I hear my dad say is, "What the fuck happened to your face?" And I said, "I don't know." He goes, "What do you mean you don't know? How could you not know?" And this dude's dad was like, "Yeah, man, we don't," as he's walking back to his car. Yeah, we don't know either. Yeah, it was weird when he woke up. I just hear click, and the car pull out. That's it. Dude's driving back to the Cape. So my dad was like, "We got to go get your mom right now. And we got to go to the hospital."
Thank God somebody's got some sense.
Yeah, and he was like, "What? Run down everything you did." And I even ran down Beth. And I remember him going, "Peanut butter."
Yeah. By the way,
Everyone's
By the way, you are still the only one who thought peanut butter was a good idea.
The first thing in the cabinet, you know.
Okay.
And so
And the last thing I would have used.
my
Like,
mom
seriously.
was biking home from work. I think I don't remember because I couldn't see her, but I do remember that my dad was like, Ellen." He rolled down the window, and I hear her go, "Oh my God!" She left her bike
Just on the street.
on the street, hopped in the car. We drove to the hospital, and look, I obviously am a little bit allergic to poison ivy.
Okay.
But the guy said at the ER, he was like, "Man, you're lucky with your reaction that you didn't touch your hand to your mouth." He said, "Because if you think about what that did to your eyes,"
what would it do to your tongue?
he said, "Your tongue and your mouth, if you had gone to your mouth, it could have,
Died.
yeah.
Yeah, swollen
Yeah, 'cause
shut.
You could have
Yeah.
swollen shut." He said, "But I got to tell you, that's the worst poison ivy reaction I've ever seen." He said, "It's going to take a long time for you to look normal."
So what did they give you? to get rid of
Antibiotics?
this?
Yeah, steroids.
Yeah.
But it was like, because I had been digging deep in my eyes, it just kept itching. Oh, I was just like
Continuously rubbing it over and over and over. Yeah.
smearing it in there. Yeah.
Oh God.
It was, and you know when you said you look like a mask, my brother Dan said he came home from college, and he thought I was sitting at the dinner table with a mask on.
I thought you were being funny.
Yeah, he was like, "Were you wearing a mask?" Oh my God.
How long did it take for you to regain vision? Like
Yeah.
later that day, the next day, a week?
You know, I could see slits because they gave me some steroids when I got there.
Were you icing it too?
Yeah, everything.
like that.
The ice helped just because of the throbbing,
swelling and the
hot,
tension.
and it was
Yeah,
hot,
yeah,
and I could
yeah.
feel my heartbeat in my face.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that feeling.
That's about. I was gonna ask, did you get that for your toes? The heartbeat thing?
Oh yeah, especially with the nitroglycerin on my it was
yeah.
opening up my blood vessels. So every now and then it would just be like thump thump, and I'm like, stop! Like
it's a weird.
I hate that feeling.
It's a bad feeling.
It's
I mean, for me, that was like, it was a weird not seeing day.
Yeah.
it just seems like a
Being
weird day
"Is this what
overall.
It's like,
Yeah.
am I going to be able to hear better now?
Yeah, am I going to turn into Daredevil?
Yeah.
Can I taste breath now? That's fucked up. So no poison ivy ever.
But
again.
I am so like careful.
Yes, around.
I hope so.
I'm
Yeah,
so
Jesus.
very
Right, yeah.
careful.
See, look over, he's rubbing his eyes again. I'm like, God damn it, there's poison ivy. He doesn't get the hint.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus Christ.
But
You guys
I
have fucked up things.
it was the only one I had a good visual of. I wanted
No,
to.
that's good. No, we like the visual. We love a visual. People
I don't think your
doing
visual
visuals on
beats
here.
mine though.
No, dude,
No,
you're
this is-
I should.
no,
if
no,
I.
You need to find those. I was talking to him in the car. I was like, "Yo, I need you to archive and go find those
You want me
photos."
to look on my computer and see if I can find the pictures and send them to you?
I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me on the last episode. I talked about how Ryan Sickler talked about how this guy was going to do maggot therapy to because his foot was about to fall off.
Yeah.
And then some girl listened to the episode and sent me a photo of maggots in someone's foot, and I almost threw up. So maybe I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
this
I had a
podcast,
leech
do
on my
it, it grosses
butthole.
me out. You did what?
A leech on my butthole.
On your butthole?
By the way, hold on. Let me rephrase. Voluntarily, a leech on his
Okay,
butthole.
I was like, wait a second. Why? What
I was
he doing back there?
I did a show called Josh. I like weird things.
Okay.
And I did a show called Josh Wolf's Wonderful World of Weird for Facebook.
Okay.
And one of the episodes, they were like, "How you feel about putting a leech on your butthole?" I'm like, "I feel great about it. Let's give it a run."
So you open your ass up.
Oh, not in.
on the outside.
Yeah. And so
But
they
didn't
put
try to go in?
They put leeches all over my body as just to see, like you leech that you've heard of leech therapy.
Yeah.
And so they put one on my liver, and they put one, but she was like, "This is what's it called? It's like a chakra." I'm like, "We call it the butthole." She's like, "This is your root chakra." I'm like, "It's my asshole.
It's my anus.
Yeah.
It's not.
But she said, "I'm gonna have to send you home in a diaper." And I said, "Why?" She goes, "You're gonna bleed for a little while because it thins the blood when it sucks." But it didn't feel terrible. You know what's funny? She said to me, she goes, she put all 3 leeches in a jar with some water, and they were big and full. And she goes, "Here you go." I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, I can't use them again." I was like, "What am I gonna?"
You want me to take these home?
Yeah.
Like, new friends? Got 3 new pals.
Just because it was on my butthole doesn't mean we're buddies now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So wait, what is okay?
It's supposed to suck.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to suck impurities out. So some people put it on their liver. A lot of people put it in their eyeballs to cure.
In the eyeballs?
On the eyeball. Yo,
eyeball.
Google.
No, that
Look
would never,
on
I can't. No,
on
I got an eyeball problem.
LA leeches.
I got an eyeball problem. You can't do
They'll
that.
put it on the eyeball, and it hangs outside, like out of the eyeball.
I really don't like that.
And
I don't like the eyeballs.
but they on the butthole. The idea is that
it
they
sucks
will
your shit out for you.
a hemorrhoid. It'll suck a hemorrhoid straight out.
Oh, well, now you got me listening.
Right?
Okay, well, now I'm back in. It sucks the hemorrhoid out and they remove it?
Then the hemorrhoid's gone. That's the theory with the leech on the...
Hey, we've had a lot of hemorrhoid episodes on here. People, this is now, maybe I'll try this.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's a woman here on Instagram, LA Leeches.
LA Leeches.
And she'll...
So that was a available web address that nobody else wanted. LALeeches.com, wide open. Nobody's trying to take that domain.
Yeah, put a leech on your butthole.com.
Yeah,
like, what
nobody
the
wants
fuck?
it.
But I'm up for trying things like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I maybe. I don't know. That seems a bit pushing.
Oh, I'm out.
What
I'm
part
out.
of that? What part of that is pushing for you?
Leech on the butthole.
I always
That
think it's
whole
going to go
thing.
in. I don't mind putting leech here somewhere like that, but the idea of it sucking into my asshole and I have to try to get it out, that weirds me out.
But it's not gonna. It latches on and
That's
sucks.
it stays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if that leech was crazy? He was like, woo, want to party and went in, and then you never know.
Yeah, no, I'm look.
Is there a party in your asshole?
There might be. I wouldn't know. Maybe the leech will find out. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I remember him
we're not
telling
trying
me
that.
about
That's
that, and I
crazy.
was like, no, I'm good. I will miss that episode
No, I'll
today.
miss that episode.
I will
That's
stay
fine.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that.
All right.
Worst story you've ever heard. What's the worst thing you've ever heard? Oh yeah.
What's the worst body thing you both have ever heard? Something that's haunted you.
Oh, haunted?
Something that like every time you think about, you're like,
I did sports medicine when I was in high school. For 1 semester, and then I ended up transferring. But I was working with the freshman football team, and I was sitting there with my coach, and their star player, he was, as a freshman at 14 years old, was 6'3", 220, and just all muscle. Like he was...
Not like me.
You
Yeah,
wish.
exactly.
Thanks.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wish.
exactly.
He was a giant human being. And he went to go run through some people. And they had to tackle low because he was a big dude. And then as he got hit, all I heard was pop, pop, pop. No. And then I saw him hit the floor and his leg swing over him like a string bean. And I was like, am I going to have to go to that? And then just the craziest blood-curdling scream from a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
It was just like he thought his life was over. But we had to go and like hold his leg while they were trying to wrap it or like keep it compressed because he blew out his entire fucking knee. Like he had to have every single MCL, PCL, ACL all restructured.
because it just went completely backwards.
Like his knee was here and his leg was here.
Oh,
and it was just, for me, lower body injuries, obviously, are, and this was before that, but anything knee, ankle, like those skate videos where those dudes' ankles. I'm like, I'm out.
Stand though.
But I follow Hall of Meat, which is like a thrasher company.
That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah.
Gross. And so all they do is post people getting fucked up on a skateboard.
Yeah.
And so like every now and then I want to pop up and it's like graphic warning in 3, 2, 1. And I'm like, well, I'm already here. So
And then you watch it.
Oh, always, every time. I watch it more than once, probably.
No!
And they
I
like
you know what's worse?
weird.
They
I don't
slow-mo
like
it too at the
injuries.
end. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
no.
what weird things are you watching? I don't like the injury stuff.
I
I'm
like weird. I don't like injuries. I'll tell you. So there's 2 that have stayed with me. One gross and one just gross but funny but gross.
Okay.
The gross one that I was there for, my buddy in college, he was playing soccer, and we were watching, and somebody went in to slide tackle him, and you just heard, you ever heard like a 2x4 or a loud piece of wood break?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that weird bah!
Yeah.
And same scream.
Yeah.
So what are these two bones?
Femur and tibia.
Snapped them
Right?
both.
I think so.
I think that's
Snapped them both. So the bottom of his leg was doing that.
Ooh.
Now, intramural soccer at your college, you know, guess who comes to take care of you? Somebody who's in college.
Yeah. Who doesn't know what the fuck?
Who has no medical
Yeah.
training whatsoever.
Who wants to do that as a profession.
Yeah.
So this girl drives up in the cart. She's like, okay, let's
see it.
let's get him up and put him in the cart. And I was like, put him in the cart. And she was like, yeah, sit him down. I'm like, he can't put his foot
yeah,
down.
he can't- yeah.
I was like, don't you have a place where he can lie down? She was like, no, I don't have one of those today.
Today.
Yeah,
Today. Today of all days, by the way.
Things gonna
To
happen.
see the bottom half of his leg doing
Just
that,
just a
dangling,
loose dangle.
and he kept saying to us, he was like, I don't want to look, is it bad? And my buddy was like, it's so fucked up, Sam. And I was like, that's not what we're supposed to say,
But
dude.
it's better as you say that because if he did look at it and like, can you imagine
could-
seeing
I'm
that?
amazed
like,
he
with
didn't
your
pass
clothes,
out
you're like,
from
what
the
fuck?
pain.
Yeah, yeah.
The
literally.
noise and the scream will live with me forever.
Yeah.
I will tell you the thing that I was grossed out about, but I was curious about, but I was grossed out about. My buddy worked in an emergency room, and he used to call me a lot because he knows I like the weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he was like, guess what I saw last night?
Oof.
And I go, what? He goes, I took a live eel out of some dude's butthole.
Eel.
Eel?
And
Eel.
that's what I'm talking about. The fucking leech. See? It's
Eel.
No, look, it's very valid, by the
Eel.
way.
Okay.
Live eel.
It's still alive.
Live eel.
Core body temperature was probably warm enough to keep him alive.
Is that okay? Wait.
I go, what do you mean? He was like, dude, so obviously this guy took it a step further than the gerbil. And I'm like, eel? And he said, yeah, it was the weirdest thing. This was made me laugh. He goes, it's the weirdest thing I've ever pulled out of a butthole. I go, are there a lot of things?
Oh, lots of things.
Yeah, he goes, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, you know, the funniest thing? I go, what? He goes, I pulled a He-Man action figure.
That's fucking.
That's awesome.
People
Some
have got
dude
problems.
fucking himself with He-Man
Yeah,
makes
like
me laugh.
let's use something spherical that we can pull out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude.
Also, they make stuff for you with the handle. Okay, no, we're not done the eel. Was it in head first? Like, I got questions now.
I
The
don't.
eel-
I have
That's
to
a great
remember.
question,
I
by
don't
the way.
remember. But the guy,
So they don't still alive.
the guy came in panicked, and he said,
Oh, I wonder why.
I thank God because he goes super cool. Look, guys, don't alarm you.
Yeah.
I wonder if like
Got an
was it
eel in my
an
asshole.
electric eel? Like could it shock
where
him
do
from
you
the
even buy an
inside? Like
eel?
So many questions. When I asked him, I go, so like, I go, was the guy? He goes, a lot of times when people have things lodged in their ass, they're too embarrassed to say.
Yeah.
So they'll
Yeah.
say something like, "Oh,
something.
I'm sore,"
Or I have stomach pain,
I'm
or-
constipated.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
know.
you're like, "Well, you should have told me about the light bulb in your
Yeah,
asshole."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
This guy came
yeah,
into the
that guy.
ER screaming, "I've got an eel in my butthole! I've got an eel in my butthole!"
I mean, he's straightforward. He was short and to the point, which I like. But I never understood the people hiding it. It's like one, they're professionals.
Yeah,
They've
they're
dealt
gonna
with
find it,
probably
yes.
a bunch of different stuff.
They're
But
gonna
also,
find it.
yeah, the X-ray is going to show that there's
Yes.
something in your ass.
Also, to
like,
save everyone the trouble.
Yeah.
There's an eel in my ass.
yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if I'm looking at an X-ray, I'm like, "Is that He-Man?"
Yeah. We know what's in the ass.
yeah. And before I go to talk to him, I'm taking photos of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
He-Man
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
asshole. Like, you might as well just be straight up.
They take the eel out,
Mm-hmm.
and then where does an eel live? I thought it'd be in water. I'm very
I'm
confused.
assuming they kill it. We didn't get too deep into the
Okay.
conversation.
Takes the eel out.
Takes the eel out because he knew he was like, I gotta go. He would call me, like he called me once. He was like, "Hey man, I'm in the ER." I was like, "Cool." He goes, "I got a tip for you." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Never get shot in the stomach with a shotgun. Gotta go." And I was like, "Okay."
By the way, good life advice.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he would
yeah,
send me
yeah.
the worst pictures. I'm like, "What is that?" He was like, "That's the inside of someone's." And I was like, "Dude,
Oh God, the eel might be the worst one. That might be the crazy one.
it's bananas."
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
bananas.
There's that.
But
there's
He
that.
lived.
the eel or the guy?
The guy.
Guy lived. Yeah.
Guy lived.
I
Eel.
don't think the eel.
There's also that one.
I think he ended up at a sushi.
There's that one
restaurant.
injury Grandpa had off the golf cart. So his father, Tom Wolfe, for me, is just an absolute savage. He gives zero fucks. And even growing up, like he'll tell me stories about what he used to say to him, and I go, I love Grandpa. Like that shit for me. It explains.
school,
It
East
explains
Coast.
though
Yeah,
why we are the way we are, right? And he's what 86 right now, something
Yeah,
like that,
86.
and he golfs 6 times a week.
Shit.
He shoots his age.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
and he shoots 18 holes almost every single day. And there was one day I get a call from him, and he goes, "Hey, Grandpa got hurt on the golf course." I go, "What happened? Did he like pull a muscle or like something?" He goes, "No, the golf cart fell on him." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna send you the photo right now." And I was like, "Oh no!" And it is his thigh. and it is pretty much like someone had tried to skin him alive,
Yeah.
and just
Oh,
taken some off and like pulled it back, and it was just
full muscle?
and I was like,
Full muscle.
ah! And Grandpa, legit, Tom Wolf was like, all right, let's just keep playing. They go,
He wanted
"No,
to finish out the 18.
Tom, we got to get you to a hospital.
Skins off.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
I asked him. I go, hey, Grandpa, I know this is probably weird for me to ask, but can I see? After he had healed up and they had sewed him up and done all that, I go, can I see? Because I had my toe injury, so I was curious.
Yeah.
And we go into his room and he shows me, and it is just like,
It's gnarly.
it is like there's a patch on his skin. It's like a quilt, like where there's a whole patch on his skin that is just a different color.
Yeah, from his ass. They do ass the thing.
Well, no, the skin was still attached when he got hurt. So I assume they just
think they
folded
no,
it
they
back.
grafted him.
Did they? Oh,
they
I think
grafted
they.
him.
Yeah, I think you're right. They
don't
graft
know
off
where
his.
the ass is. I think is
think
usually
ass
where
is
they.
the
Yeah,
vein graft,
yeah. But it was, he is.
Dude, gross.
Dude gives zero fucks.
The
Yeah.
fact he wants to keep playing, his friends are like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're good. I got to tee off.
Yeah.
We got the card for another half an hour.
Tom
Let's
Wolf
finish this up.
is a menace.
Oh my God,
100%.
The funniest way that you could die.
Funniest way you guys both think you could die.
Okay. All right. So there's a bunch of. I thought about this. The funniest way I think I could die, or the funniest way
Yeah.
anyone could.
You
Okay.
think you could die, yes.
Okay,
Very
so-
personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have thought this many times. Because on my Friday night late shows, I take mushrooms before the show.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
But some stages have like high. And I thought it would be so funny for me to be shrooming and just like think the stage keeps. Have you seen people fall off the
Yes.
stage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, I hate to say that would do wonders to my YouTube channel, but
I don't think it would be allowed on
If
YouTube,
I took
actually.
mushrooms, fell off stage, and literally died at a table, I don't know if it gets much better than that for me. Do you know what I mean? To die doing stand up
And high as hell.
and high as hell,
Yeah.
and everybody would probably think it was part of the bit.
Oh, yeah. And then you just don't get up.
Yeah.
They're like, they keep clapping. And they're like,
Yeah. Should we?
It's really dragging this on. Is there going to be a meet and greet after this? Or
Do you have merch?
Yeah. They start taking off your shirt off your dead
Yeah,
body.
it
They're like,
was.
Yeah.
But I think that for me would be my
Okay.
favorite. High on shrooms, thinking the stage is longer than it is, and dying in the front row.
Okay.
Mine's a little similar. It does involve a psychedelic, but it doesn't involve doing comedy. It involves me because like I've done acid, mushrooms, that kind of psychedelic, but acid is a lot. It's intense,
Yeah.
right? And there are some times where obviously I'm seeing things that are not present, right? So I always thought it would be kind of funny, but also kind of sad if I was super invested in the music I was listening to, and then I Believe I Can Fly came on, and I just decided to go on my balcony because I believed I could fly. And then in my brain, I see my hallucinating self flying through the air. But then you cut back to me, and it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
a splat on the
Keep
floor.
him away from balconies.
yeah, you can't fly, by the way. Just so
No,
you know
I'm
that.
very well aware. I can fly in other ways, just not physically.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Keep him away from any balconies when he's on acid. I think
Yeah.
he's not
well,
allowed to.
yeah.
You're assuming that he and I do acid together.
You did ask me to do mushrooms. Yeah, you did ask me.
Yeah. You haven't yet?
No, he asked me to do mushrooms with him.
He won't do mushrooms with me.
Why?
Because it's the only one thing I've done with my friends, and my friends
a
only in controlled
bonding
environment.
experience.
We bond
Yeah,
enough.
bond. Yeah,
we
you
bond
bond a
enough.
lot.
Two,
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
two beds, one room. Okay, we bond enough on that
You
shit.
have two beds though.
And the
Yeah,
one
but-
room, two beds is the name of the
Okay,
tour.
okay.
By the way, I
Thank God,
also,
too bad.
when he
Yeah.
does his mushrooms on Friday, I have to keep track of how long his set is. Because there was one time in Michigan, like two or 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
he went
Really going on.
he
Yeah,
went
yeah,
2 hours
No.
by himself, not even including me and the other dude who opened for him. He went 2 hours.
That's too long.
Tell me about it.
At an hour 30, he was like, well, you guys want to hear that story? I'll tell the bachelor party story. I go, yo, that is a 40-minute story. There's no way you're doing that right now. And so, but I also I have to keep track of like all his stuff in the green room. Or when I go out there, like I have to keep him on track because he'll just,
Go on.
Forever.
That's too long.
yeah.
2 hours is too
Yeah, that's
2
longer
hours
than a
is
normal show.
a lot. 2 hours is
yeah,
the
it's
normal run, not just the main guy.
it's absurd. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
But we, yeah.
Oh, it's still a good time. We have a lot of fun.
Okay.
The Friday night late shows have turned into a lot of fun.
I usually get like pretty buzzed by the Late Show. Pretty buzzed.
With booze?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't do psychedelics.
I don't drink. How come?
On stage.
Oh.
I'm already too much.
Yeah, I'm with you on
imagine
that.
that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. No, I can't because when I get high and do comedy, I'm weird. Like I just say weird. I go on tangents and there's like, especially my crowd work, I get even weirder than it already tends to.
Your crowd work is exceptional.
But people, because I get fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
The other day, a guy was a widower twice. Two, he had. His
I
wife
saw
died,
that clip.
But I didn't put the whole thing up. He told me he's marrying their cousin.
What?
His third wife's their cousin. This guy fucks with the family. It's creepy as hell.
Wait, the two sisters.
Dead. And now he's marrying their cousin.
But by the way, people in the family still marrying this dude?
Yes.
That is the crazy
something's
thing.
up.
That is nuts. Like,
Something's up.
How'd the two sisters die?
I asked him, I go, did the police ever ask you? I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck's going on here? He's like, oh, no, one was sick and the other one. I was like, the other one what?
One was sick with fentanyl.
that sounds like a life.
That sounds like life with my hands around her neck.
That sounds like life insurance fraud,
Yeah.
my friend. You should stop talking.
That is a
was-
full
yeah, it was
family.
crazy.
Maybe he's trying to kill an entire.
I think he is. Maybe they did something to him as a kid. His
That would be that would be one of the craziest serial killers ever if he's just targeting
Genius,
just
dude.
It
targeting
is.
the family. Oof.
We should write this.
Ready?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna write it. We gotta wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Where can everybody find you? They can find your tour. Where can they find you online?
Comedianjoshwolf.com for tour dates. We do a podcast together called Hey Man.
Yeah.
Which is just a lot. It's sometimes super funny, sometimes super serious. A lot of times he admits shit to me that he did when he was a kid that I didn't know, which is yeah, like
Okay.
the admission to walking in on my wife and I was done on a live stream.
Oh, good.
In front of like 2,500 people.
I was just like, what the fuck? So there's a lot of those moments, but
Yeah.
it's a good time.
It's just an insight to like our relationship, and it could be like you said, it could be serious, something about mental health, something not serious whatsoever, which it most of the time is. But yeah,
He admitted to me that he had hemorrhoids, and I had never had one before.
oh yeah, I did that on that last podcast. Yeah,
Have you had one?
Yeah.
they
I have one.
suck.
It stays in there. It doesn't go away.
It-
It
Really?
bleeds sometimes. It never pokes out. It just kind of hangs out in there.
LAleeches.com.
Okay, LAleeches.com. Thank you. I'm going to check that website out. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
listening
Thank you for
to Steph
having us.
Infection. Go follow them. Go see them live. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. I'm just yelling. Okay, bye.
Bye.